many years, almost many decades, would be safe to say. He's going through the new Competent Communicator Manual for the first time, and he's going to be giving his 5th speech. And the title of his speech is, I Can Make You Thin. It's going to last for 7.5 minutes, and please help me welcome Mr. David Bond.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, there are no guests. I can make you thin. Yeah, I can make you thin. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But Paul McKenna, the author of this book entitled I Can Make You Thin, he can. Well, I'm not so sure about that either. The thing I'm sure about is that he says he can, and if you have the discipline to follow his instructions to the letter, I am sure you'll lose weight. If you're not overweight, you won't lose any weight, but you'll just maintain your present weight and perhaps avoid putting on weight as you get older. It's an excellent book. Tells you how to go about it. In fact, it will irrevocably change your eating habits, which is the purpose of every good weight control program. He does provide with the book a CD called the Weight Loss Hypnosis CD. It puts me to sleep. Maybe it's supposed to, I don't know. But he insists that it is absolutely essential for reprogramming your subconscious mind about your eating habits. I'm going to try it yet one more time. See if I can stay awake and listen to it. Without the use of the CD, just understanding what's going on when I'm eating and doing some of the things that he suggests you do, I have lost 25 pounds. Now, it has been over a year's time. I still have a pot belly, but it's much smaller than it used to be. And I'm confident that if I keep it up over the next year or so, I'll probably get rid of the pot belly. 25 pounds, after all, is 25 pounds. A substantial improvement, I think. And now comes the good part. There is no calorie counting in this program. There is no forbidden food in this program. In fact, there's no diet at all. Hey. In fact, McKenna gives just 4 rules for eating and eating properly. First of all, he says when you are hungry, eat. Now, he teaches you in the book how to determine when you really are hungry. It's not just mealtime. He says eat what you want to eat, not what you think you should. That's pretty attractive, I think. Eat consciously and enjoy every mouthful. And the final one is crucial. He says, when you are full, stop. And he has some exercises in the book so you can learn how to tell when you are actually full. It's well worth reading. He goes on to explain that it takes 20 minutes for the signal to go from your tummy to your brain, I'm full. 20 minutes. How many of you have ever been to a covered dish supper at maybe a church or some such thing? Practically everybody here, I suspect we've all been there. Take you a step further. What happens to me? I get a generous helping. I go around and take the things I really like. And I finish. I say, wow. Those baked beans were really great. And you can have seconds at that kind of a banquet. Those baked beans were really great. And I've got room for more. Yeah. I can get seconds. So I go and get a second helping of baked beans, another generous one, and my 20-minute clock is ticking all this time. By the time I finish that second helping, it suddenly hits me. I am stuffed. How many have ever had that experience, a kind of a delayed reaction? We all have. He says eating speed is one of the problems. He said if you reduce your eating speed by 75%, that's going to take you a lot longer to eat a meal that way. And he says to eat that meal without any distractions. Don't watch television, don't read a book, don't read a newspaper. Think about what you're doing and enjoy what you're eating. He has 4 rules. I gave the 4 rules. He says, resign from the Clean Plate Club. Now, I grew up during World War II, and I don't think I ever ate a meal when I didn't hear, David, eat everything on your plate. To teenagers at that time. Think of the starving Europeans. I used to hear that all the time. Think of the starving Europeans. I became a clean plate guy, and I still am, really. But what he says is that you have to resign from that Clean Plate Club if you really want this to work. Leave some food on your plate. Now, if you leave food on your plate, it's probably going to be wasted. It's probably going to go in the trash. But think about this. If you eat that food that's on your plate, and if it's more than you need to nourish your body, is it not wasted anyway? Of course it is. It's stored as fat. So it's wasted anyway. The real benefit of reading this book and changing your eating habits is improved health and a longer and healthier life. No question about it. So give it a try. Go to Barnes & Noble, find this book, get a cup of coffee, sit down, scan through it, and see if it makes sense to you. Give it a try. Worth your time. There's a wealth of information in this book, and I have really only hit the highlights. So, I'm going to close by repeating the 4 golden rules for good eating as he presents them. The first one is, when you are hungry, eat. Eat what you want, not what you think you should eat. Eat consciously and enjoy every mouthful. When you think you're full, stop. Mr. Toastmaster.